Good morning children. Today we will be discussing about digestion in the small intestine. Okay. So in the small intestine the process of digestion is completed. We already discussed that digestion starts in the mouth itself. Okay. As we keep food in the mouth, secretion of saliva begins and the digestion starts. So this digestion of food is completed in the small intestine. So before going to today's topic, we will just discuss about the previous topic. Some of the children put some questions like what happens to the acid if you drink water continuously while eating food. Okay, so what happens to hydrochloric acid that is present in the gastric juice? So my dear children, you already know that if you add water to acid, it gets diluted. Okay, so just like that, if you go on drinking water while eating food, hydrochloric acid in our stomach, in our gastric juice is diluted and it takes a longer time for the digestion of food. Okay, so avoid drinking water while eating food. Okay, so drinking sufficient water required for the body cures several diseases in our body. But while eating food, you avoid drinking water. Okay, so water should be drunk 30 to 40 minutes before eating food and 30 to 40 minutes after eating food. Okay, maybe it is lunch or our night supper. Okay, and if you are in school, we are in school, so drink water after third period is completed and then after fifth period is completed. So that water drinking after third period is before our lunch and drinking water after fifth period is after our lunch. Okay, so avoid drinking water while eating food. In case you get hiccups or cough, drink little water to quench your thirst. Okay, but do not drink water continuously. Remember this. Okay, because our stomach is just like what is that, mixture grinder. Okay, when your mom grinds this adrak and lasoon, that is what you call allam vellullipaya paya, and if she puts that in the jar and similarly put water and switch on the switch, then what happens? The garlic and ginger goes on rotating in water but does not get grinded. Okay, so just like that, our food also takes a longer time for digestion. Avoid drinking water while eating food. In case you get hiccups or cough, then you take little water. Okay, so many children ask this question, what happens to hydrochloric acid if we drink water continuously? Fine, so this was the doubt of many children. Now let us come to the digestion in the small intestine. So small intestine is the largest part of alimentary canal, measuring about 5 to 6 meters in length and 3 centimeters in diameter. Okay, so that is 3 centimeters of width. Understood children? So small intestine is the largest part of alimentary canal. It measures about 5 to 6 meters in length and 3 centimeters in diameter. Okay, and this small intestine, it has 3 parts. Okay, so let me draw the diagram of small intestine. Let me draw the diagram of alimentary canal, children, so that we can distinguish what are the 3 parts in the small intestine. Okay, so alimentary canal, children. Alimentary canal is a single tube that starts in the mouth and ends in the anus. Okay, measuring about 22 feet. So today's topic is digestion in the small intestine. So already I told you, small intestine measures about 5 to 6 meters in length and 3 centimeters in diameter. Okay, and small intestine has 3 parts. The first part is duodenum, that is U-shaped or C-shaped. This measures about 25 centimeters. We have already finished digestion in the duodenum. Okay, and the middle part is highly coiled and this is called jejunum. This measures about 2 meters in length. Okay, so jejunum is the middle part of the small intestine. Okay, so the anterior or the proximal part of small intestine is called duodenum. The middle part is called jejunum, that measures about 2 meters. Duodenum is 25 centimeters. Okay. And the distal or the posterior part of the small intestine is called ileum. This measures about 3 to 3.5 meters. Okay. So overall small intestine is 5 to 6 meters in length. Okay. And internally this small intestine is lined by mucous membrane that secretes mucus. Okay. And then this small intestine, in this small intestine the food is completely digested. Okay. So the internal walls of the small intestine has longitudinal folds or finger-like projection called villi. Okay, children. So what is it called? Villi. What are villi? Villi are the folds, longitudinal folds or finger-like projections present inside the small intestine. The internal walls of the small intestine has finger-like projections called villi. Villi is plural and villus is singular. Okay. So this villi helps in absorption. It increases the surface area of small intestine. Fine. And then in between this villi there are intestinal glands. Okay. And so intestinal glands are present in between the villi, and this intestinal gland secretes intestinal juice. Okay. So intestinal gland secretes intestinal juice. Intestinal juice is also called as, already we discussed what is it called? Succus entericus. Okay. So what it is called? Succus entericus. Intestinal juice is also called succus entericus. And there are so many enzymes present in this succus entericus. Okay. So let us see what are the enzymes present in succus entericus. So they are, I'll rub this sugar. So they are, first one is erepsin. Okay. So what is it? Erepsin. Next, maltase, lactase, sucrase, lipase, nucleosidase and nucleotidase. Okay. So here you can see ASE, ASE. Okay, so these are all different types of enzymes present in intestinal juice, that is succus entericus. Okay, and how these enzymes help in digestion of food, we'll see. Okay, erepsin is also called peptidase. So what it is called in the peptidase. Okay, then sucrase is also called as invertase. Okay. So sucrase is also called invertase. Understood, children? So now this erepsin acts on partially digested proteins. Okay. So we already discussed that proteins are digested in the stomach. Okay. By pepsin to peptones and proteols. Then in the pancreatic juice, then in the pancreas with the help of pancreatic juice, that is peptides or polypeptides. Now, this peptidase acts on partially digested peptides, okay, and converts these peptides to amino acids. Okay, so amino acids. Peptidase acts on partially digested proteins, that is peptides or polypeptides, and convert these polypeptides or peptides into amino acid. Erepsin is also called as peptidase. Okay. Next, maltase and lactase, sucrase, all these acts on different types of sugar and finally convert them into glucose. So maltase acts on maltose. Okay. So acts on maltose and converts this maltose to glucose. Next, lactase acts on milk sugar called lactose. Okay, and converts this lactose into galactose plus glucose. Okay. Next, sucrase. So what is lactose? Lactose is also called milk sugar. Okay. And then sucrase acts on sucrose. Sucrose is also called cane sugar. Okay. And convert this sucrose into fructose plus glucose. Okay. So next, lipase. We already studied about lipase in the stomach, in gastric juice, and also in pancreatic juice. So let us write here intestinal lipase. Okay, children. So intestinal lipase. This acts on emulsified fats. Okay, that's on emulsified fats and converts these fats into fatty acids and glycerol. So, fatty acids plus glycerol. Next, nucleosidase and nucleotidase. These enzymes act on nucleic acid. Okay, so you might be knowing nucleic acid, RNA and DNA, and converts this nucleic acid to pentose sugar and nitrogen base. Okay, so nitrogen base means purines and pyrimidics. So they are the building block material of DNA, which you will be learning in other higher classes. Okay, so these are the different types of enzymes present in the succus and intestinal juice, and they act on partially digested food, different types of sugar, and convert them to simple form. Okay, so like this, the food is completely digested, insoluble in diffusible form of food is converted to simple form, that is amino acid, glucose, galactose, glucose, fructose, fatty acids, and this is in the liquid form. Okay, so the food is completely digested in the small intestine and is in liquid form, and that is called as chyle. Okay, so what is chyle? Chyle is a liquid form of food in the small intestine. Okay, now what happens to all these simple form of food? Okay, so this simple form of food diffuses through the walls of the alimentary canal and enters into the blood. Okay, so that is called as absorption. What is it called, children? Absorption. Okay, absorption. So, what is absorption? Diffusion of simple form of food through the walls of intestine into the blood is called absorption. Okay, so simply you can also say that transport of food material from the alimentary canal into the blood is called absorption. And we already learned that villi inside the intestine helps in absorption. So, in the small intestine, there are finger-like projection called villi. Let me draw the diagram of the villi. Did you understand, children? So these are the enzymes present in intestinal juice. What are those? Adapsin, maltase, lactase, sucrase, lipase, nucleosidase, and nucleotidase. Okay. So adapsin acts on partially digested protein and converts it into amino acids. So we can understand that proteins are completely digested. Proteins are made up of amino acids. Okay. Amino acids are the raw material that synthesizes protein, and now it is converted to amino acids, so completely digested. And here all these sugars are finally converted to glucose. Glucose is the simple sugar that is immediately absorbed by the cells of our body. So like this, the food is completely digested in the small intestine. Okay. Now we learn about the absorption and I'll draw a diagram of small intestine. So please note down this, children. villus, that is finger-like projection in the small intestine. Okay, so the inner wall of the small intestine has longitudinal folds or finger-like projection called villi. Okay, inside each villi you can see there is an elaborate network of blood vessels. Okay, so this is artery and this is veins. Okay, and unbranched structure lymph vessel, and together this forms lactine. Okay, so what is lactine? Inside the villus or inside the villi there is an elaborate network of blood vessels and unbranched lymph vessel, that is called as lactine. Okay, so all the simple forms of food passes through the blood capillaries and through the lacteals and enters into the blood. Okay, that is what is called as absorption. Follow children? So what is absorption? Diffusion of simple form of food through the walls of the alimentary canal into the blood is called absorption. And one more thing, all the blood vessels that collects blood, all the blood vessels that collects blood from the alimentary canal join together and forms hepatic portal vein. See here I am writing. This is hepatic portal vein. Okay, hepatic portal vein. And this hepatic portal vein, what is hepatic portal vein? All the blood vessels that collects blood from the alimentary canal. Okay, so blood vessels will be present here and that collects blood. So they together join together form hepatic portal veins. Okay, this hepatic portal veins carry digested food along the blood to the liver. Okay, and from the liver fatty acids and glycerol diffuses into the bloodstream and that is carried to different parts of the body. Okay, so thus the absorption is completed. Okay, and the water and then the food enters into the large intestine. Here you can see appendix. Children, appendix is a finger-like projection. Okay, this it is present at the junction of small intestine and large intestine. It has no particular function in our body, so it is much reduced, and so it is also called as vestigial organ. Okay, so appendix is present at the junction of small intestine and the large intestine. Okay, so the water and bicarbonates are absorbed from the chyle and then enters into the colon. Okay, so large intestine. The first part of the large intestine is called cecum. This is cecum, which measures about 6 centimeters, and then this is colon. Then colon opens into the rectum, and rectum opens into the anus. So water and bicarbonate is absorbed in the colon. Okay, and then semi-solid feces is formed that enters into the rectum. In the rectum, this is also one more question, children. What is the function of rectum? So rectum stores the feces temporarily. Okay, so finally after the absorption, food enters into the large intestine. Large intestine is called large because the diameter of large intestine is greater than the small intestine, measures about 1.5 meter. Okay, so water and bicarbonates is again reabsorbed and then semi-solid feces is formed that enters into the rectum, and there is an anal sphincter between the rectum and the anus that opens, and the undigested food material that consists of excess of salts, bile pigments, then bacteria, germs, and that is all eliminated out. Okay, so elimination of the waste material is called defecation. What it is called? Defecation. Okay, or so D means removal, deforestation you might have heard. Okay, so feces is formed and removal of this feces is called defecation. Similarly, it is also called as egestion. Okay, so E means out. Again, E means out. Okay, so undigested food material is sent out. Follow children, and next. So what happens? Now the food is completely absorbed and the simple forms of food is again converted to living protoplasm. Okay, so that is converted to cells and tissues in our body. All these are required for repair and replacement of cells and tissues, bone or tissues. Okay, so conversion of digested food into living protoplasm is called assimilation. What it is called as assimilation. Okay, children, and like that, the simple form of food is utilized by cells and tissues of our body. Glucose is oxidized to release energy. Okay, and all the simple form of monosaccharides are converted to polysaccharides. Amino acids are again converted to proteins. Fatty acids and glycerol are converted to fats and stored in our body. Okay, so this is how digestion is completed in the small intestine, and the process of digestion completes here. Okay, question answers I'll be sending, questions I'll be sending you through PDF. Okay, and in the next class we'll start the next life process, that is respiration. Okay, children, so this is how digestion is completed. Okay, it takes 3 to 4 hours for digestion.